Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. Today, we're going to talk about decision making. Decision making stems from choices. Sometimes we feel like we have no choice about anything at all in our lives. But often, if you think about it, if you open up and really explore, you might realize that there are more choices than you realize, more choices than you imagine. In fact, our choices are endless. What happens when we open up and realize the number of choices that we're faced with day after day, week after week, quarter after quarter in our business? We might be hit with what is called decision fatigue. This has happened quite a lot over the last few years with the pandemic. Today, it may be a choice and a decision, and not an easy one, to go out to dinner with someone, to go to a wedding, to go to a business meeting that's in person. It might be a choice about whether or not you even want to get together with your family or get your team together so everyone can be in person. All of those things are choices you might be faced with in the very same day. I want to ask you to consider for yourself, how are you when faced with choices? How are you with decision making? One thing that you can do to address this for yourself is to look at your past choices and the decisions that you made. How have you done with them? How have they gone for you? How did they turn out for you? Granted, of course, many times things turn out in a way that we never imagined or never expected. And it's only much later that we can say, well, I made that decision, but look, and that didn't go well for a while, but look where I am today. How is it that you feel when you make a decision? This is another thing that I do for myself. Everything that I share with you are authentic tools that I have developed for myself, an actual active way of being that I live my life. So, for example, with decision making, I've asked myself the question, how do I feel about the decisions I've made? Do I feel good about them? Do I not feel good about them? How have my recent decisions been? Versus how did I make decisions a long time ago? Also, how have my long-term decisions been? See? See how many choices we have? It's not easy. Sometimes, it's hard when you're faced with decisions, especially if they're decisions that were sort of made for you, especially if they're not choices that you really are making because you wanted to make them. Very often there are things that feel like they're happen to us out of our control, but yet still we are faced with choices. Do you know what I mean by that? Does that resonate with you? Decisions that you have to make as a result of something someone else has done. That happens all the time. How can you make a good choice for yourself if you're being forced to decide on something that didn't have anything to do with you? My question for you would be, what can you do to bring it into your control? Do you actually have to make a decision based on something someone else did, or could you not decide? It happens very often in my coaching practice that my clients feel like they have to make a decision. They feel like they're forced to do something. They feel like, there's something that they have to do. But when I ask a couple of clarifying questions and offer the opportunity to really look with curiosity about whether or not you really do have to do that. Do you have to decide? Is that a choice that you really have to make? Or is it a choice that you want to make because it would go better for you and be better with the spirit of how you want to be? There's a lot to talk about regarding choices and decisions, isn't there? It's hard sometimes. It feels hard and it can be fatiguing. Right now, as I said, some of the choices that we make may actually feel like they're life or death. Sometimes we make a choice and we're like, oh, that didn't go very well for me. There's some people who haven't been out of their houses for 2 years because of fear of the pandemic. There were choices they made all along the way. And now they're in very difficult, depressive or anxious states of being because of the choices that they made. At the time, it felt like that was a smart choice to be healthy and to take care of yourself and to be responsible for your health. But over time, over 2 years' time, and I'm not exaggerating, there are people who haven't been out for 2 years. Over 2 years' time, might there have been a different kind of choice that could be made? We could only do the best that we can do with what we have. So I want to invite you to open your mind, open your heart, open your spirit, and allow your soul to come forth to support you making choices that feel as good as they can right now. Once you make a choice, once you have a decision made, don't hate on yourself later about any choice or decision that you made. It's probable that you're doing the best you can with what you have. And later on, of course, you could second guess yourself all you want, but often that doesn't go well for you. What happens here is that we are best served when we can say, I am here and now. I got to this point from all the choices that I made along the way, some good, some not so good. But no matter what, I made those decisions and here I am. And the only question left is, how do I go forward from here? For me, here in the confidence zone, this is my guide. This little picture that I found at a TJ Maxx store, it was like it was put there by God for me to see it. And I bought it, and it's my guiding light. And it says, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. If you look at each of the words in that sentence, fearless, pursuit, soul, on fire, that's where we want to be in that kind of orientation, if possible, as much as we can, when we're faced with the kinds of decisions that we are day after day after day. What is the pursuit that sets your soul on fire? Maybe it's just getting out and walking today. My friend and I did that. We had a beautiful, quiet walk in a forest today for an hour. Right there was the pursuit of my soul, right? And here I am. I knew I would be coming to you live every day in the confidence zone as I do. And I have to decide every day, what will I talk about? Another decision made for today. All right, friends, I hope that these words can serve you and soothe you as you go about being faced with the choices and making the decisions that you do. Don't suffer from decision fatigue. Celebrate in making decisions that set your soul on fire. All right, friends, that's it for today. Shabbat shalom to those who celebrate, and to everyone else. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Take good care. Bye-bye.